Remember the optics over his family's gas-guzzling private plane and the hypocrisy headlines that followed? Well, now a new scandal may be brewing professionally. Emails shared with Fox News Digital show his office consulted with left-wing environmental groups while crafting U.S. policy. But the documents don't reveal any similar conversations with fossil fuel energy groups or companies. Meantime, other emails show a senior official in Kerry's office pushed for a phone meeting on the budget so there would be no paper trail of those discussions. Interesting. Writing, quotes, I would also suggest a call or meeting soon with JK to update him on FY 22 and 23 fiscal year, focusing on all the elements we can't put on paper. Cheryl, what can't they put on paper? Saving the climate is the most important thing in the world. We should all know exactly what is going into this world-saving U.S. policy.
Well, I think what's interesting is that we're talking about non-government organizations that are listed in these emails as who they were speaking with. I mean, look, how about talking to the other side? Talk to the energy industry. You villainize them so much. Why don't you ask them what they want to do and how they can fix climate? Maybe they can reduce emissions because, look, they're making big efforts to do so. I mean, look, electric vehicles, hate them or not, people are buying them. So let capitalism work here. Instead, you're going to these non-government organizations in secret. It just looks bad.
So what does that tell you about John Kerry and his office? I mean, doesn't it seem like he doesn't really know what he's doing and he wants to be liked by the Sierra Club instead of really trying to inform himself and, to Cheryl's point, come to some consensus with both sides if this is so critically important?
If it was such an emergency and we've been told 8 years, 12 years, 6 months, Greta Thunberg, everything, they would have done everything possible to stop it. But John Kerry and Steven Spielberg, who, by the way, in 1 month uses more of a carbon footprint than the average person does in a year, they just don't care. This is a grift. This is an all-out grift. Al Gore proved you could literally take hundreds of millions of dollars, put it into a fund, build a mega mansion, and go on with the grift. And John Kerry just wants his.
Yeah.
You got to make sure the yacht's up to speed, the crew's in place, the plane is ready to go. You don't want to have any problems. Maybe the caviar if you need it. And they jet around the world, virtue signaling. Actually, they're lying to the people they actually claim they care about. Because for every one of you out there that believes in climate change, guess what? What have you gotten?
So, Kat, they also have these emails that went back and forth with senior officials saying, let's keep this off paper.
Yes.
And when they were discussing the budget. So I want to know, are they like bathing in gasoline secretly?
No, this is objectively shady to write to someone, let's talk on the phone about all that stuff that we want no record of.
Yeah.
It is. And anybody who would say that it's not, I would ask them, what would you do if you found a text message like that on your spouse's phone? What would you do if anybody was saying, hey, okay, yeah, let's talk on the phone because we don't want this in writing? The only reason to say that is because you don't want anyone to be able to see it. So what were you referring to there? Give me an example. I can't imagine thinking anything else but that.
By the way, thank you. People all over America now are checking their phones.
Yeah, writing off paper.
I mean,
But that's not how government is supposed to operate.
No, there are all kinds of Federal Records Acts because your texts are discoverable on a government device, your email. So if you want to have a conversation about something candidly, you pick up the phone and call. You don't write in an email like, let's pick up the phone to keep this off the record. That was like a very
you could even just say, let's talk on the phone instead of to keep it out of the record.
Right. Then it's on the record that you want to talk on the phone. I mean, I don't understand this person. I'm sure the recipient of that email was like, okay, what are you doing, buddy? But I will say, look, talking to special interest groups, that happens all the time. You know, in the Trump government, sure, you're going to talk to special interest groups. Same for the Biden government. This is a left-wing government. They're going to talk to left-wing special interest groups. But to me, it's the degree at which it happens at the CDC with the teachers' unions dictating CDC guidelines, literally suggesting language that is verbatim adopted as if it's like scientific policy by the CDC. That's where the problem comes in, and I'd love to know the degree to which these interest groups crafted policy before the G7. Was it verbatim language? I'd love to know the answer to that.
Yeah, and how much money they have donated to particular causes and campaigns. And, you know, because when that happens, and to your point about the teachers unions, they donate to Democrats. So when Democrats are in power, they want access to that power to help write laws that are directly beneficial to them. So why wouldn't the Sierra Club do the exact same thing? You know, and we're seeing billions of dollars go into the this, Inflation Reduction Act, which is really a climate bill.
Yeah.
So obviously, those special interest groups, they're going to see the billions.
Yep.
I think, right?
No doubt about it.
Am I wrong about that, Kat?
No, I think you're absolutely right. And it happens every day.
Thank you. I love you in Navy. All right, very good.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.